I've realized in this life that you'll meet a lot of people who devote a great deal of their own energy and time to try to bring other people down. It's a pity, really, that these people employ their most valuable asset, the one thing that they can't ever get back in their life, their time. Um, and the people that are drawn to tearing down others rather than trying to dive deeper into their own journey, and explore their own potential. I think that a lot of a lot of them are, for very one. I think a lot of them, for one, are very unsure of themselves. They don't quite know what their purpose is. They realize deep down, and I think a lot of them they won't even want to admit it, but they realize deep down, they know in their heart of hearts that they haven't made their mark on the world. And so they're very unsure of how they'll be remembered. And it's a very bothersome thing for a lot of people. And even deeper down, I think that at the root of that, I think really deep down, and a lot of people will never admit this, they don't know who they are. Which, of course, just saying that alone automatically, in many people's minds, underlines a number of issues. They automatically ask, well, if I don't know who I am, then how can I be sure of this aspect of myself or that aspect? But what I mean by that, when I say they don't know who they really are, is that everybody is always changing every day. Okay? So people are always changing and adapting. The best ones are, anyways. I feel like that people that are willing to adapt and willing to change, um, actually, believe it or not, have a better understanding of who they are. There's someone who adapts to change and keeps up with themselves. However, people who are very stuck in their ways and want to very much believe that they know exactly who they are at all times. Well, the fact of life is that people change every day. The world around them changes every day. It's just how it is. And I think many people fall asleep at night with, even successful people. Their reassurance of their current financial security. They're in a good financial situation, and they're currently living a good life, what society deems an average a good life, and what looks like a fulfilling life on the outside. And the thing is that it's an appearance on the outside that they feel like that they must uphold, and it can be a very difficult thing for many people to confront, especially later in their adult years, when they have a lot of other things to worry about, and they want to be able to maintain an upstanding appearance in society. And so it's just a human dilemma. But the appearances that they strive to keep up, and they try to maintain their outward appearance to the public, it very rarely fulfills the vision of happiness that really appears in their heart. And what I mean by that is that the appearance that they try to uphold on the outside as an upstanding citizen isn't going to answer a lot of the, at least for me anyways, isn't going to necessarily answer all the questions, okay? And so what happens is that outward appearance to the public very rarely fulfills the vision of happiness that they have in their heart of hearts, which, as I stated earlier, many people don't even want to think about. So they see people that are truly happy and they attempt to pick them apart out of spite. Many times they don't even understand why they're doing it, and it's out of jealousy and spite. It kills them inside that there could be a person who isn't potentially as financially fortunate, doesn't have what they have in their life, the trophies of their livelihood that they, that they covet, and it just kills them to see these people that maybe don't have a family, maybe aren't as financially fortunate, and it baffles them that these people could possibly be more fulfilled or happier when they don't have all of these trimmings that the other person does. And I think it drives people to do things that otherwise they wouldn't. But when they see someone that's immersed in their lives' passion, and a person that's arrived at fulfillment without skipping across those same stepping stones that they were told to follow, get a job, get a family, go to church, do this, do that, and the person followed their own path, and they sort of thought about, well, maybe I'm going to just do what I think is right. And I think that level of autonomy and that level of independence makes them jealous and makes them feel like the followers that they are. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's plenty of people need to follow, and people need to lead. And I think that being a leader of your own life, though, at the end of the day, is something that at least I would want to strive for. But it's also good to follow, for instance, certain laws and just certain things to get by and get along with everyone. But it's interesting to think that there really are this path that is kind of paved with society's intentions. These stepping stones that were very closely instructed to cross, following, and these people are following a path that's been beaten long before they were born. And so when they see people parallel to them that arrived on the other side with building their own bridge to get there, if you know what I mean, they writhe in that. They writhe in that. And it's that there could even, in their mind, that there could be people that discovered it all on their own, which is very rare too, by the way. It's not, most people don't, in fact, I would say very, very few people discover everything on their own. Of course, everything is, at the end of the day, a part of something that came before, and that's understandable, but someone who really followed their own path to get to where they are and did it their own way, it's getting more and more rare. It's just, it's crazy to think that then these people have, the people that are sometimes a little upset about others get making their own way and just and doing their own thing, even without financial success, and they could be deemed total failures by everyone else. Could look at them and say, "Oh, that's a fucking loser," but just the fact that that person feels happy and fulfilled and is good with who they are, and the reason why that is because those people, they've come closer to really finding their true selves. That's the real truth. And it's very hard to even explain, much less people to deal with it. And they just can't for the life of them understand why someone who doesn't own a home, doesn't have the family like they have, or the awesome career and the friends, and which isn't everyone either, but then they see their cookie cutter lives and they look and they see this person who is sort of just happier than they are, and I think it just upsets a lot of people.